Kenneth Campbell is with Standard Pacific. They're the 11th largest home builder in the country. What a challenging business. Mr. Campbell, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
What's your biggest headache as we enter April of this year? What's the thing day to day to day you're worried about at Standard Pacific?
Mostly what I'm worried about is like it getting even worse. You know, a lot of people thought when the market got to 320,000 new homes or something, it couldn't get any worse. And then, you know, we had February when we were running at 250. So part of, you know, what we worry about is, okay, the market's down again from last year. Excuse me, is it going to stay down, or are we finally going to get some recovery from the, you know, led by the job growth?
I was struck on your website. I believe in what we do. I'm proud of our integrity. It was a marketing blurb on your website by one of your employees. Why does the housing business in Standard Pacific specifically have to worry about quote unquote integrity right now?
Well, it's, you know, any business, when you have a decline of, you know, 75%, you start to challenge some of the things that you do on the margin that you can get away with and you don't notice when everything's good and you're making lots of money. So taking good care of customers, concentration on the, you know, concentrating on the quality of construction, those are things that you could see, you know, trying to cut back on because those things cost money. So we were actually pretty happy last year when we came out as the top builder in the country on those metrics, because we want to make sure, even as we cut, and we've cut 75% of our staff, that we don't eat into those things which we think define our business.
Look at this chart, folks, of their stock price. It looks like Ara Hovnanian's chart. I mean, they all look the same. Up we go. What a boom, and down we come, and they bring in Ken Campbell. You're known as a restructuring guy. What did you do day one at Standard Pacific when you were looking at a traditional home builder business? Was it just painful layoffs, or was there a restructuring method that you employed day one?
It's not, it's simple. It's like, because I can only do simple things. So, you know, we just had, like any business that's, particularly one that's been successful, you know, success breeds bad management. You know, it's just too easy to hide behind profitability. And I think any industry, including the home building industry, you know, you know, becomes guilty of not paying attention to all the costs. So the advantage of coming in as an outsider is you don't have the history or momentum or anything to interfere with decision making. So it's easy to sort of just come in and say, okay, look, why do we have all this stuff? Let's try to do it without it and see how it goes. And that's what we did, and we did it quickly.
You're in Irvine near LAX. What do you need from Governor Brown, or more specifically, what do you need from Congress and the President in Washington? Well,
my view is not necessarily what everybody else's view is, but you know, the housing market is all about jobs. It's a huge market. It creates, you know, lots and lots of jobs, millions of jobs if we get back to normal. And what people need, the cost of homes is so low now. What people need is confidence that the future is brighter than the past, and we keep generating a couple 100,000 new jobs as the ADP report came out today. The private sector, that confidence will start to return. So I'd rather they concentrated on programs that would create jobs and quit worrying about sort of fine-tuning the home building industry. I commend them for trying, but I think that, like somebody you were talking to earlier, it's just postponed the inevitable.
Ken Campbell, we're going to bring up this chart we had on earlier in our entire hour on housing, the smaller business of construction. Is Standard Pacific, as a publicly traded company, do you like wake up every day and consider yourself to be a small business?
Yeah, we're not a very big business. I think the home building business gets a lot more attention, you know, the inches per market cap, you know, the market cap of the home builders, if you added them all up, is not all that big a number today. If we get back to selling 900,000 homes a year, it gets a lot bigger. But, you know, we have, you know, 700 people or whatever that work directly for us. It's not a big, not a big number. We're not talking Walmart or something, you know. We employ a lot more than that. You know, if we're building 10,000 houses, you know, we have a couple thousand people. We're probably employing, you know, 20,000 or 30,000 people because it takes a few people to build a house.
When you set up your strategy for the spring of this year, and I think of land acquisition and just the building out, tell us a little bit about making the sausage. What are you most focused on now in the process of home building?
Well, there's sort of two things we're doing. One is we're buying land. We generated a lot of capital last year. You know, we did $1 billion of transactions last year because we think buying land is the silver lining in a lousy home building market. Land prices follow home. So that's one thing we're doing. And the other thing we're doing is we're trying to make sure that what we do in the house that costs money is stuff that people care about. So you call it value engineering or whatever else it is.
Right.
And basically just trying to improve our management. I don't think the home building industry was famous for, you know, great management before, and we'll come out better.
I love this value engineering. Let's be blunt. In 2006, everybody had 4.5 baths, an 8-car garage, and et cetera. What's the one thing the public still wants now in a house that they wanted in 2006, even though the whole economics has changed? What's the one thing they say, I got to have this in a house?
I think what they have to have is more, the design has to be more tuned to the way they live, as opposed to having lots of extra rooms. So like we're redesigning every new community we're opening, and we're opening 60 new communities in the next 3 or 4 months. It's really just like having that open framework where, you know, the kitchen bleeds into the great room, and just being smarter about it being designed for the way people live.
Now we go to the most important question, Ken Campbell. Should I remodel my kitchen?
Generally, the data would say no. You should remodel it if you are going to live there for a while and you'd rather have a nicer kitchen. It's like buying a home. It's buying a home. It's not a financial investment. Well, if you would like to remodel it, it won't come up in home price, though.
Well, good. Thanks for that pain. I'll remember to mention that tonight. Ken Campbell, thank you so much with Standard Pacific on